Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Tokyo Ravens Episode 5. Now this review's up pretty late. Like I said in my Hunter x Hunter review, I was really busy today. Ate breakfast at 11 and didn't have my next meal till 12 hours later, so that should put it in perspective. But, I won't make you guys wait any longer for the review, so I'll just get started now. There's this short mini flashback in the beginning of the episode, and we learn that Kyoko actually met Natsume once when they were kids. But after that, we go back to Kyoko's fight with Harutora, and dude, she wins instantly. I mean, art. I mean, it was a squash match, and I mean, the fact that he tried is admirable. The fact that he actually fought himself is admirable. And I guess the people in the class thought that too. They gained some respect for him because the next day, there all these girls and guys just like came up to him and started talking to him and everything. All these girls were like they were obsessing over Cone. And there was this one guy who didn't like Harutora, but like in 2 seconds he's blushing, like he likes him and everything. He's just being tsundere. And the only people who aren't talking and like having a good time with Harutora are Toji and Natsume. And Toji asks Natsume, does it bother you that he's this popular? And Natsume, she doesn't really answer, but Toji ends up telling her that she should make up with Harutora while she can, because the last person who got in a fight with him never actually ended up getting the chance to make up with him. And obviously he's talking about Hokuto. And since Hokuto is Natsume, Natsume is Hokuto, she knows very well what Toji's talking about. But she ends up getting up and leaving. Kyoko ends up walking in and seeing how popular Harutora is, and Toji ends up just like sliding in into the camera shot, and he does the same thing to Kyoko. Yay! Does it bother you? Does it bother you that he's this popular? But that was a funny that was a funny scene. Toji's the best character in the show, but Kyoko and Harutora end up talking in the hallway. She apologizes to him. She says that she was really mad at Otomo, but she took her anger out on him instead. And they get to talking, and Harutora ends up figuring out that she's just using him to get to Natsume. And Kyoko gets to talking, and through all of her talking, we learn that the Kurahashi family actually used to be a branch family of the Tsuchimikado family. We also learn that she has something to do with Natsume's ribbon, which is apparently a magic artifact slash tool slash item. I'm assuming she gave it to Natsume as a gift. I don't remember every scene from the manga, and I haven't read the light novel, so I don't really remember what the history is there. But that's it kind of goes back and forth between serious and comedic. After that, it goes back to a comedic scene where we learn this later in the episode, but Kyoko likes Natsume. Kyoko's a girl, Natsume's a girl, but everyone thinks she's a guy. So Kyoko is included in that. Kyoko thinks Natsume is a guy, and then she likes him, and and Haruto's trying to convince her, no, you shouldn't do this. This is bad. Or you just no. All right, please, just don't. And at the end of the episode, Kyoko ends up taking that as Harutora likes her, which is not the case at all. And Natsume ends up walking by and seeing this, and she thinks that Harutora likes Kyoko as well. So there's some comedy there, and based off of Kyoko's feelings for Natsume, we have this scene earlier in the episode that I was talking about, where she's talking with Harutora, and she's trying to figure out like whether Natsume is available, because Toji lied to her and told her that Natsume and Harutora have this special bond that they've bonded body and soul, and we all know what that means. But Harutora ends up having this funny delayed reaction. He's like, no, no, that's not true. and, and and Kyoko says, oh, you haven't done it yet? And he's like, not yet, not ever. We're not gonna do it. We're both guys. But Natsume ends up showing up, and she sees how Harutora's is kind of, I guess you could say, having a good time with Kyoko. Not really, but pretty much. And she actually ends up blowing a gasket, pretty much. She gets furious, and she starts yelling at him and everything, which at this point it's clear she's not listening to Toji's advice about making up with him. But we learn later on what her real intentions are. It's because of all the Yako devotees, she's always in danger, and therefore people around her are always in danger. So she doesn't want to get close to people because she'll be putting them in danger. And since Harutora is going to be close to her, she wants him to be strong enough to be able to actually defend himself and not get hurt. So she gets angry whenever she sees him goofing off, because he could be using that time to get stronger. That way he can protect himself, because the more time he wastes, the more likely it is that he's going to get hurt, and it'll be Natsume's fault, or at least that's how she'll see it. But that's the whole reasoning behind why she gets mad. But after she gets angry, there's this explosion. Someone tries to attack Harutora, but Harutora ends up getting saved by Natsume. She pushes him out of the way, and we see this guy, and he says that, referring to Harutora, he says that he threw the King of the North Star's heart into disorder. Which, not at this point we don't really know what that means. I mean, I would assume at this point I was assuming something involving Kenshiro, but we find out later that Yako was considered king of the North Star. So yeah, we end up finding out about that the guy that attacked Harutora is a Yako devotee, and we also learn from Tenma, actually, because he had the staff that Otomo wanted to give to Harutora, and he told Tenma to give it to him. So Tenma has this new staff that he's going to give Harutora, and while he's there, he tells Toji and Harutora about how Natsume was actually attacked 2 days before the two of them enrolled in the academy and showed up. She was actually attacked by a Yako devotee, and they tried to abduct her. So because of that incident, she had to be questioned by the Magical Investigation Bureau, and that was the guy from the last episode who kept showing up to talk to Natsume and like bring her outside and stuff like that. That's who he was. But it turns out that guy is the Yako devotee who attacked her. We don't know if he was the one who attacked her before Toji and Harutora showed up at the school, but we do know that he was the one that tried to attack Harutora, and Natsume ended up taking the hit instead, trying to save him. But Kyoko ends up, Natsume gets kidnapped. Kyoko ends up yelling at Harutora and getting mad at him for not figuring out why Natsume was so hard on him, which is stupid because no one could figure that out. Like, that doesn't make sense. No, come on. But they beat the familiar. They go after Natsume. I mean, from here on out, it's pretty simple. The guy wants to awaken Natsume as Yako. He wants her to like regain her memories as Yako because he believes that she is the reincarnation of Yako. He says that he wants to be her Hishimaru. I think, yeah, because Kakugyoki, he ends up summoning Kakugyoki in order to fight Harutora and the others once they show up, and he wanted to be Hishimaru. So yeah, he wanted to be one of the main guys to protect Natsume. The others show up. He summons Kakugyoki, which was the other of Yako's familiars. Who is Kakugyoki's apparently a legitimate demon, because all familiars aren't demons. Harutora isn't a demon, Kon isn't a demon, Tsuchigumo wasn't a demon, but he ends up being Kakugyoki ends up being a demon who is incredibly powerful. He just dominates Harutora and everyone. They get back up. They manage to break his seal, which is his mask. Harutora ends up saving Natsume and taking the seals off her because she couldn't move because they had these Shikigami tags on her that acted as seal, like sealing her, so that not sealing her like Naruto sealing, but I mean sealing her movements. She couldn't move, and that's the gist of it. She couldn't move, and so he takes the tags off her. Then she summons Hokuto. Hokuto pretty much one shots Kakugyoki, and then that's that. Toji ends up picking up the one of the tags and looking at it, and he somehow finds out that Kakugyoki was actually a fake and not the real one, which makes sense because the real Kakugyoki shouldn't be losing to children. Well, they're not children, but they might as well be when compared to the real Kakugyoki. But that's pretty much it for the episode. There were funny moments in this episode involving Kyoko and Harutora. Kyoko's less annoying now that she's a good guy, not like some rival villain person. To be honest, the comedy was the best part of the episode for me. Kakugyoki was cool, I guess, but nothing impressive came from the fight. It was just Hokuto saving the day again. Harutora didn't look cool. He blocked that very first punch that Kakugyoki tried to do. But other than that, he didn't really do it. I don't remember who the one who broke the seal on the fake Kakugyoki was, but the fight just wasn't really that interesting. I kind of zoned out through parts of it. But yeah, I'll give this episode I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 because it's the comedy. The comedy was like a couple minutes of the episode total, and that was the best part. The part with the development that was there could have been better. Also Natsume ends up moving next door to Harutora. That's a little detail if you care, but that's pretty much it for this episode review of Tokyo Ravens. Episode was, I guess, okay plus, I'll call it, to pretend to be King of Lightning. It's okay. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, like I said. So that's really it for this review. Rate, comment, subscribe. Then I'll see you guys next time.